Hello friends, this video on Congruence of Triangles Part 3 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. So let us now start learning about congruence one by one. So we will start with the simplest figures, that is we will start with the line segments. So how do we know that two line segments are congruent? Very simple, if they have the same length. So two line segments with same length. So basically we call these, in simple words, we might call this as equal line segments because their lengths are equal. So these two equal line segments would also be congruent. So here you see a blue line segment and a red line segment, and since they have same length, therefore when you try to overlap them over each other, they exactly cover each other, showing that they are congruent. So only length measured matters. Orientation, color, nothing matters because they do not fall under the criteria of shape and size. So let's say if you have a pair of line segment like this. So here, just by looking at them, you can't even identify if they are of equal length or not. So just rotate it so that you have it in the same orientation, and now it is very easy for you to see that the length of the pink line segment is a lot bigger than that of the green line segment. Therefore, these two line segments are not congruent. Let's look at these two line segments. So what do you think? The blue one and the orange one, are they congruent? So again, the orientation doesn't matter, only the length matters. So if you change their orientation, like if you rotate them in such a way that they are like over each other, you see that they exactly cover each other, showing that these two line segments again are congruent. So these are congruent, these are also congruent. Let us now talk about congruence of angles. How do we know that two angles are congruent? If they have the same measure, that is the measurement of the angle is what that matters. Now this is interesting. Now on the screen you see three different angles, angle 1, 2 and 3. Now you have to tell which of these angles are congruent with each other and which of these angles are not congruent with each other. So let us first compare angle 1 and angle 2. So when you look at their measures, so what do you see? With the help of a protractor, if we try to measure this angle 1 and again angle 2, we see that both the measurement of angle 1 is equal to the measurement of angle 2. So the measures are equal, even though the length of the arms of the angles are different, because when you look at this arm, this is quite longer than that of this arm. But when we talk about congruence of two angles, we are not bothered about how long their arms are. So we are not really bothered about the length of their arms. We are only bothered about the measure of the angle. Now since the measure of angle 1 and angle 2 are equal, therefore angle 1 and angle 2 are congruent. Now let us try to compare angle 2 and angle 3. So when you look at angle 2 and angle 3, just by looking at them you can say that measure of angle 2 is not equal to measure of angle 3. That's because angle 2 is an acute angle less than 90 degree and angle 3 is an obtuse angle greater than 90 degree. So definitely their measures are not equal, which even though the maybe the arms are of equal length for angle 2 and 3, but still they are not congruent, because when we talk about angles, we are only bothered about the measurement of the angles. So let us look at some examples and decide which angle is congruent and which. So let us look at this one, angle 1 and 2. Do you think they are congruent? Yes, of course, their measurement seems to be similar and therefore they are congruent. Look at this one. What about this? Here again you see angle 1 and angle 2, both of them is equal to a 90 degree. Both of them are right angles. So therefore they are again congruent. Angle 1 and 2 in this case. So these are definitely not congruent because angle 1 is an obtuse angle, angle 2 is an acute angle. So measure of angle 1 is not equal to measure of angle 2. Therefore, these two angles are not congruent. What about this one? So here again, if you see, the measurement of angle 2 is more than that of angle 1. So measurement of angle 2 is not equal to measurement of angle 1. Therefore, again, these are not congruent. So now that we have discussed about the congruence of line segments and angles, let us look at more congruent shapes around us. So think of your two hands. So do you think that they are congruent? Yes, they are, because when you place one hand over the other, what happens? So your one palm completely covers the other one. That's because they have identical shape and size. But now if you try out one hand of yours and one hand of your father, do you think that they exactly cover each other? Not really. They will have some differences in their shape or size. But if you talk about the two hands of the same person, then definitely they are congruent. Think of the biscuits, the same biscuit, the similar biscuits from the same packet. Let's say if you open a packet of a particular biscuit from a particular brand, so the same biscuits. So all the biscuits from the same packet, they are exactly identical to each other in terms of their shape and size, and therefore they are also congruent. Think of coins of the same denomination. For example, if you pick up 1 rupee coin, so all the 1 rupee coins will be of the same shape and same size, and therefore they would be congruent to each other. Think of the pages of the same book. So one particular book will have multiple pages, and all of those pages will have the same size and shape. So the pages are congruent with each other. So these are some examples of congruent shapes which we see around us. So now let us talk about congruence of triangles. Now we saw that in case of line segments, it was pretty simple because we were only bothered about the length. In case of angles, again it was simple because we were only bothered about the measure of the angle. Now what about the congruence of triangles? Because when we talk about a triangle has a lot of things. So a triangle has 3 sides, it also has 3 angles, it has 3 vertices. Now how do we know that 2 triangles are congruent? Now the basic concept remains the same, that is 2 triangles are congruent if they cover each other exactly when superposed. That means if you have these 2 triangles, a pink one and a blue one. So we would say that the pink and the blue triangles are congruent only if when you place the blue triangle over the pink triangle, and they exactly cover each other, and that is what is happening here at least with these 2 images. Therefore we can say that these 2 triangles, the pink triangle and the blue triangle, they are congruent to each other. And thank you. Please visit examfear.com for free quality education. You can learn with a simple 4-step learning process wherein you can watch video lessons, you can ask your questions, you can refer notes, and you can take a free online test. We have content for class 6 to 12 on physics, chemistry, mathematics, and biology along with practical videos. So please subscribe to our channel for daily updates. Thank you.